everybody, happy Monday. This is our second week of May, and this month I'm focusing on women's wellness. So I thought this week I would talk a little bit about a personal struggle that I had with my health that I think a ton of women can really resonate with. I'm sorry, I'm like learning to not talk with my hands so much, but it's really hard. So a few years ago, I was really struggling. I was struggling with balancing my hormones, and I tried a ton of different things through my OB to really help with that. And I was able to sort of balance them out, but then I would have other issues. Let me just think. So I was struggling with sleep, not falling asleep, but then also quality sleep. I was struggling with weight gain. No matter how much I worked out, no matter how clean my diet was, I wasn't losing any weight. I was constantly tired. I would wake up tired, and by midday I was done. I had zero energy, ton of headaches, and those alone create all of these other uncomfortable factors in our life, right? In our relationships, in our work productivity, for us moms, in the way we show up as a mom. So I tried so many different things to address all of these different issues. And it wasn't until I came across a naturopath who had my hormones tested, but also tested cortisol. And I had never, ever, I've heard of cortisol. I got my degree in psych. I knew about fight or flight response and what that does to our body, but I didn't have any knowledge or understanding that cortisol can wreak havoc on our body if we have really high or really low levels. And it was during this testing that when I saw my cortisol levels and they explained to me what that meant and what that was doing to my body, that I was blown away. And what really affects our cortisol levels, or can affect our cortisol levels, for me personally, and I think for many other mompreneurs, entrepreneurs, just women who are doing everything all the time, is chronic stress. And a lot of times us women don't really grasp how much stress we are really putting on our body, how much stress we are taking in, how much stress we maybe don't even acknowledge. And I'm one of those who, I power through things. I don't really stop and take inventory or check in with myself. And when I was looking into some of the side effects of having unhealthy cortisol levels, I saw there was anxiety, depression, digestive problems. Hello, that's why my weight wasn't going anywhere. I have heart issues, sleep problems. That was my other one. Weight gain, and it can affect our thyroid, and it can affect our other female hormones. And I was like, mind blown, right? I'm like, why have I not? It's been like 9 years of up and down struggling. So what happens is, I mentioned fight or flight. When we perceive something, our bodies perceive something that is stressful, it makes us anxious, we feel like we're under attack. And I don't mean attack like people are literally physically attacking us, but it could be attacking our schedule, attacking our mental well-being, attacking our emotional well-being, putting too much on our plate, and not learning how to say no. There's so many different things that our body perceives as stress, and it's different. So what may be stressful for me is not stressful for you. But learning what is stressful for us personally, whether that's over exercising, whether that's too full of a schedule, whether that's not learning to say no, whether that's not taking time to just breathe deeply, or to manage your calendar better, or whatever it is. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's toxic relationships, family relationships, whatever it is. All of those create that fight or flight response in our body. And if we don't know how to acknowledge it, to say, hey, I see you, and I'm gonna do X, Y, Z to make sure that this isn't continuing. I'm not continuing to stuff this, or I'm not continuing to have high adrenaline, things like that, then our bodies have a long-term, they break down. And that cortisol level just attacks everything in our body, I feel like. I mean, it technically doesn't, but it affects these systems that make us feel like I can't think, I can't remember, I can't lose weight, my digestive system is horrible, even though I'm eating well, I feel depressed, or I feel anxious, or I'm not, whatever it is, right? Those affect all areas of our life. So I, maybe about 2 years ago, is when I learned about cortisol and the side effects of having unbalanced cortisol. And cortisol is a hormone. So I don't know if I said that, to just be aware of that. I then figured out, what do I do to dial back? Because I don't want to keep doing this and just breaking down my body and my overall health. I'm too young and I have too much going on, right? Too much going on, which is funny because that probably plays into cortisol levels. But the first thing I started taking was this supplement, Bio-Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been around for like 2,500 years, and you can research it. There are so many studies done on it, but it is great for reducing blood sugar levels. It has anti-cancer properties. It reduces cortisol levels. It helps reduce stress and anxiety. It can relieve symptoms of depression. It can help with testosterone. It's also great for muscle mass, for strength. And I was introduced to this to take in the evenings before I go to bed to help with cortisol levels, hormone balancing, things like that, stress. And I love to pair it with my favorite. I can't go without this. So this is Serenity. Most people know that it's like the restful blend. So they think like, oh, I don't need issues with sleep, I'm not gonna take Serenity. I actually call Serenity a happy pill. So it is great for me in reducing stress or anxious feelings. And sometimes I'm not aware of it, that I even feel that way. But when I run out of this, it's very, very obvious. So much so that I can have mood fluctuations. So these two I take every single night together for the last, I want to say almost 2 years, and it has been amazing, amazing for me. But that's not just the only thing that I do. Going back to eating healthier, I actually had to dial back my exercise routine. I was one of those who thought more, harder, faster, I'm gonna lose weight. But what it did is it just created more stress on my body. My body continued to break down and I wasn't losing any weight. So I kind of had to go back to ground zero, and I really had to learn how to stretch, how to breathe correctly. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm a breath holder, especially if things are like stressful and I'm not even aware of it. And taking it back to level 1 and slowly building up over time to where I feel like I can do full workouts now and I'm not dead after, because the recovery would be so bad. But that's because I was going on 0 energy and expending a ton of energy. So taking my workouts, which sounds counterproductive, back to like level 1, eating right, drink enough water. Do you know how many of us ladies don't drink enough water? I feel like I'm always saying, do you drink enough water? Do you drink enough water? Water is so, so, so important. And if you have any complaint, I don't care what your complaint is about your physical health, check your water. Do a water log for a week and see if that affects it, because water is so important to us and our bodies can't recover if we're not getting enough water. And learning to say no. That was a big thing for me. Learning how to say no and learning how to kind of figure out what I like, what I want, and what my interests are, and having that downtime, whether it's like reading a book, taking a bath, just slowing life down so that I could begin to recover. Because recovering, whether it's from like adrenal fatigue, hormones, thyroids, it is not anything that can be done very quickly, ladies. And we really need to have patience and grace and just learn to make simple changes over time, and you will thank yourself. Because I can't tell you, I sleep so much better, my hormones are better, I can work out again at a level that was good for me. So figure out what relieves stress for you. Make yourself a priority. Drink water. If you want to check your cortisol levels, hormone levels, you can do testing. I just bought the saliva kits on Amazon and did the saliva test and then sent it in, and then they'll send you a full workout or work up, and you can see kind of where your levels are, and get yourself some ashwagandha and some Serenity. I promise it is amazing. So I hope that was helpful for you ladies this week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I love giving information, so I love answering your questions. Have a great week.